We are live. Welcome to another edition of Blend Precisely. I'm Seth, and this is the
Katrin,
Laughing
hi.
Katrin.
Yeah, it's so typical. I have all of these tabs open, and I was looking for myself, and it was on the other screen. Hi, Seth.
Hey.
Now I'm here. Wonderful. Good, 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 good. All right.
So we're going to have to do this. I've successfully broken production. So I will be presenting from my local machine for now. Yes, that's right. You heard me right.
I'm gonna mute you right now.
Okay.
Great. Hi, Sylvia. It's I need to I just need to laugh so much because Seth is always full of surprises.
Hello.
Well, all right, take it on. Take the
All right.
show. We have another one at 2 o'clock. Just quickly, may I announce that?
Yes,
And
please.
actually, in the meanwhile, while you're talking, I'm going to actually put the link in. So anybody that doesn't know about our Indie AI Business Hub on School, and Sylvia knows about it, but we are live on 3 channels right now. So in case you have time today at 2 p.m., feel free to actually join us in our new community over on the Indie AI Business Hub. And I'm going to look for the link in a moment so you can join actually into one of our new beautiful meeting rooms, which is not a Zoom room. So our Zoom meeting, which is going to be very different. And Seth and I will take the time today to actually talk about AI and aromatherapy, skincare, wellness, any kind of business that we can integrate into our businesses or also your businesses. I mean, I always think um, I am the one who's still doing my aromatherapy blends and so on. So that's why I say our businesses. And then we will also be talking about the differences between language models. And Seth created the personal AI assistant, also something we're going to talk about today at 2 p.m. But we will be comparing and talking about integration. Now, this whole series is going to be for 5 weeks on, actually. So you have the possibility to join us during the next. So today is the first time, but then we're going to do it 4 more times to join us and really see how we can integrate AI into your business without having the fear, without having apprehensions actually about how to use it, right? So a lot of people, what we see is like, I'm scared to put my data out there. I'm scared to use it. It's coming back trashy, the answers. So we will talk about all of that. It cut our time. I almost would say I work more because I'm excited about it, but everything I do is AI related. Everything I teach right now is in our Indie AI Business Hub, and that's what we're presenting right now. And that is also what I'm using in my business. So the question every now and then comes up, do you ever sleep or do you ever rest? And the answer is, I just get so much more done with what I present or created actually in our community as well. All right, so Seth just walked away. And I wanted to get him over there. So there we go. He needs a cable.
Okay.
All right. Well, Seth, take it up. I'm going to actually go for the link itself.
Okay. So I've already pasted the Indie AI Business Hub in the chat.
That's the community. So I'm going to look for our direct link today to the meeting.
Okay. All right. Let me present your screen and the entire screen. Here we go. Okay, great. Okay, I'm going to take you straight to the new AI assistant page in Blend Precisely. And I just kind of wanted to point out a few new things that we've put together. I believe we've shown this one before, but this first tab here, this chatbot, is something that allows you to look at files that you've uploaded in the second tab here. And you can see where I've uploaded a bunch of tabs from various sources that we use, PDFs of or GCMS reports, and um, some of our other resources about business. Um, and it gives you a lot of information here about the total size that you're allowed to upload. And there's a business and community resources tab. This, if you've signed up for the AI Studio, it's a tool for content creation and some other things, and our school business hub community here as well. And last but not least is the art style prompts, which I'll let Katrin talk about a little bit later. So I kind of wanted to take a moment and chat a little bit about AI, what it is and what it isn't. We're still seeing confusion about what it is and concerns about privacy. So artificial intelligence is essentially a way of doing things much faster than you could do by yourself by using a computer, cloud, and there's like 3 or 4 companies, Anthropic, OpenAI, and there's another one that doesn't come to the top of my head. But
Perplexity.
what's that?
Perplexity.
Perplexity. Yeah. So these companies have spent enormous resources accumulating data and trying to figure out a way to say, okay, how can we make this data available to people with a few keystrokes? So, for example, if you were to ask the question, tell me something about, let's see, I'll just bring one up and I'll just do it. This is Chat GPT. And if I were to say, tell me the constituents of lavender
Can you try that
essential
again?
oil. Did I misspell it again?
Well, first you love constituents. I spell better as a German. And then second of all, lavender is again with an A. But
Right.
after 4 years, we really don't need to do that.
My wife and business partner is laughing at me. Okay. All right. So what you're looking at here is data that ChatGPT accumulated from looking at publicly available resources. That's the official story. Officially, they're just grabbing information that is only available from publicly available websites. They're not sneaking into NSA government databases and going past PubMed and things like this. So this data, as you probably know, as aromatherapist, is arbitrary and is generic. So, for example, they're saying linalool has between 25 and 40% um, uh, in lavender essential oil. There's so many variables, and if you get a specific GCMS report, you can easily say, oh, well, that's way off. My GCMS report from Floriana says it's 33% or something like that. So it's generic information. It's not very exact, and if you're trying to create recipes that have known um, qualities and therapeutic uses, then this is a really poor way to go.
It also doesn't list all of them
Yeah,
as well. And the next time you enter the same question, it will come back with some other results.
right. So if this is where you stop with AI, you'll run away and say this is useless information. It's a useless tool, and it's very flaky. And I can tell you from being an insider inside of corporations that are using AI, They refer to these as hallucinations. And so one of the main things that you have to do when you're using AI as in its current form is changing day by day, week by week, year by year, and it is improving. It's getting better, but at the present time, it's not good enough. So essentially, what
Can I just
companies?
interrupt you for a moment? It's
Yeah,
not so where I would say it is not good enough when it comes to data. I think like true data, like the GCMS reports, SDS, MSDS reports, anything where we need background information and we need to rely on therapeutic data or maybe even health data or something like that, there I think it is not appropriate to use it. But it is, of course, amazing for anything business related when you have to create emails and so on. So that is content creation. That's where it shines. So you don't look at this empty piece of paper. So I just wanted to add that.
yeah. So for some of the tools that Katrin's talking about, which she's gone to great pains to create for you, um, in specific the content creation, um, there's something called prompt engineering, and I'm not going to go into that in depth because we don't have time for it here. But
It's also
there,
in the studio. It's actually in the community, um, in the AI business community. There's everything about prompt engineering, how to prompt, and everything else.
right. So when you ask questions in the way that I did, you get garbage answers basically. But if you there's people that they make their living being prompt engineers. In other words, they say, I am a research assistant or expert in the essential oils industry. And you ask other very specific questions like, I would like to know the little content of, um, say, a Floriana GCMS report. You get a much narrower response that's much more exact. And you would probably be surprised. There's like multi-page prompts that are very detailed and trying to narrow this down and make it much more accurate. And so it's very difficult to do on your own if you don't know what you're doing, which is why Katrin decided to step in and help you with the tools to give you much more sensible answers for um, coming up with things that are like a 4-week course, which you might want to present, or things like this, things that don't require um, 0.01% specific accuracy on a specific constituent in an oil. As Katrin mentioned, at this higher level, where it's more about copy, presentation, getting ideas, is extraordinarily useful. And I'm sorry, what's the content creator or the time machine, as I think we call it, is does that. It will give you 19 pieces of content that it would take you a huge amount of time to create it yourself.
Yeah, I
Um,
actually went through the exercise and I mentioned that I think on the landing page as well, but it takes you around 16 hours to create these 19 pieces of content versus 3 minutes. That's what we got it down to. So
yeah.
yeah, so
Well,
it
so
gives you a
in
massive
today's
advantage.
in today's environment, everybody is caught on to AI in the business world. And so if you're not using it, if you're not using these techniques, you are going way slower than other people. So if you have competition, or you're just trying to produce things, you're going to be going much slower, not a little slower, but a lot, much slower. So you'll make less money, you'll spend more time and effort trying to create it. So instead of AI being the evil thing that takes over the universe, it suddenly becomes a tool that is extraordinarily useful, just in terms of time and money.
When used right and not in wars.
Yes, indeed. All right. So, can we diverge just a little bit, Katrin, and can you talk a little bit about the art style prompts?
Yeah, so the art style prompts, if you go in here, so you have the possibility, and that is like one major differentiator. And I know we're going to talk about that as well at 2 o'clock a little bit more. But the art style prompts I put together, and there are over 300 art styles you can use in prompting. And it's really beautiful to actually find your own style. I'm a big fan of art. I studied photography, I did textile design, and everything else. So it had to just become a part of Blend Precisely as well. And this one is, I created this Airtable basically as a gallery for you to look at. And you could go on, you can just click into, why don't you just find one right now that you find intriguing? And then I
Okay,
will.
I just wanted to point out we're talking about lavender in general here, but these
Yeah, I
all
will
of
just,
them.
I'm gonna comment on that, but just click into
Okay,
something for a moment and then I will mention that. So for every single art style you see, I use the same prompt and you see that up on top, lavender, blooming, simple on white background. So you can use that prompt and replace lavender with any other flower or herb or anything else. So you could say ylang ylang, and then you want to say blooming or at nighttime, simple and on white background or something like this. Then the art style here, can you highlight art style name? Is called
uh,
black. I cannot even read that on my
oh,
screen.
here, excuse me, sorry.
What is it called? Black
It's
light paint.
blacklight paint.
Uh-huh. And the art style description is luminous paint that glows under black light. And then the result is the one below. Exactly. So it gives us possibility to stand out with our art as well. Everybody has seen lavender a million times in the same form. It's still going to be beautiful as a photograph. But if you're producing any kind of workshop materials, if you're sending information to your clients, why not stand out? Because we have enough competition already as it is in our market. And this way, you have the possibility now to go into the gallery, choose any art style you like, and replace, if you want to scroll up one more time to the top, and replace the plant description prompt with something you like. So you can put peppermint, green leaves, simple on white background, and then you can use it in our AI studio, but you can also use it, of course, in ChatGPT or anywhere else where they have these Dali pictures, and we have Flux. And I use mostly as well Midjourney. That's another one. So I just wanted to showcase that one more time. That is part of our personal AI assistant. And yeah, I'm just in love with being different in terms of there's not just words that go into teaching and that go into your client's folder and so on. There is also always a little bit of design and art. And here I'm just presenting a possibility to stand out as an aromatherapist, as a skincare formulator, herbalist, anything in wellness as well.
Right, and I think part of what this tool is doing is giving you a style that you can use consistently
Yeah.
throughout your. So you like with fonts in particular, you don't want to have like uh, Zap Dingbats fonts combined with like italic fonts, yeah, different places in your website or whatever medium you're presenting things in. You need a consistent look and feel. So that's a lot of what this is about.
Okay, yeah. So that's just a short overview, but I think I'm going to get another lesson out at one point on using those ones to actually stylize your Canva files and make them yours. That's mainly what it is about. Make your business yours, make your art style yours. It comes all together. The branding is you.
Yeah, one other thing I'd like to point out, and before AI and Midjourney and Dolly and these other tools that auto-generate art, you would have to go to like a stock photography website or something like this, pay for the art, and then use it in your wherever you were going to use it. And so this has dramatically lowered the bar for anyone to create beautiful looking websites and in any copy on Facebook ads or anywhere.
Yeah, you
So
basically can finally bootstrap your business.
yeah,
It's become much easier.
yeah,
But in regards to time, and we have a meeting at 2 p.m. as well, maybe we should just move on to the next subject.
okay, all right. So um, we talked about the chatbot in a previous blend precisely.
Just shortly, I think, at one point, and the screen is really big right now. You might want to.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I think it would be nice to look at a GCMS report just as a result here.
Okay. This
I'm
all.
going to actually see if we can. Oh, I just took us out for a moment to see the entire.
I see. Okay. So I'm going to just see if we have any essential oils listed here, and
Yeah, I think it is my account, so you might not know what I have in there, but that's
I
okay.
see. Okay. All right. So it looks like we have one. So in this case, it's giving me the constituents of the essential oils.
No,
Um,
it's not. It's actually the essential oil with the
oh,
lavender.
sorry. Okay, and there's some references in here. You can click on the reference and see, for example, what this particular one is.
Yeah,
And
so I uploaded, if it's my account set, I uploaded 150, I believe, 150
mhm.
GCMS reports because I like to work. Coming back to what Seth just showed on ChatGPT, I would like to work with my own data. And that's what this AI assistant is all about. It's not going to hallucinate, it's not going to go out there to ChatGPT and surf the web basically to look for any kind of data. So I can just, can you maybe type in, mention all the lavender constituents from my GCMS report?
AR,
Oh, gee. Yes, ER. Oh my goodness.
ER, ah, constituents. I feel the crowd of essential or aromatherapists laughing at me right now.
Yes. So
Because
when you type this one in here,
yeah,
it's yeah, I'm just gonna talk a little bit. So when you get this one in here right now and hit send, it's going to go and find all of the reports I have in here, and it's going to look for the lavender one. That's why it takes a tiny little bit longer than you would normally find it on the web. But at least it's coming back with accurate details and with your information. So I'm using this tool right now to actually create my own classes, to create my own workshops. It can hold up to 20,000 PDF, single PDF files, and it will be able to go back and just really go through all my data and find it. And when this is done, I can go on and actually use the AI studio then to produce either content. I can go on and produce all of my information I need for the course, but I at least work with my specific information. And you can see, since Seth put in lavender, we as aromatherapists know there are many different lavenders, but it's naming them all. So here
yeah,
you can see
mhm.
lavender vera, and then you go down and look at the constituents. Before we got, I believe, 10 constituents in ChatGPT. Now
Yeah, that's
you
right.
get, yeah, I think like seven only.
7, right?
Yeah, so now in this case, you're getting the correct answer. So if he would go down and open up one of the GCMS reports that give you immediate proof and reference, then you can look at your files and say, oh, I see, I've got it all here. True. And now you can start pairing with your essential oils. You can start looking at what has similar. That was a nice one.
Having a little fun over here.
Yeah, so you can go in. What is now currently, what is the highest number in the constituents, Seth? In
Um,
lavender vera, just can you go up all the way?
yeah. Hmm.
Okay, let's go down and look quickly at the constituents a little bit further down. Stop, a little bit up again. So in this case, I would, for example, can you go up a little bit more?
Mhm.
There. Can you take the lineal acetate, 41%?
Uh-huh.
So I would take this one and then I would ask what other oil has a similar constituent in the same quantity. And then I would start looking at any other synergy oils, maybe, and so on. So this one is really meant to work with your own data. And I don't only have GCMS reports in here, I also have all of my business documents. I also have all of my course learnings I've done with Aromahat and all of my recipes, by the way, and formulations, which I have over 500 at this point, they are all in here. So I don't need to remember everything where what was, but I just uploaded everything. And yeah, so basically that's it. I wouldn't put actually, no, not the lot number, just put this one in what other essential and then hit, yeah, acetate for lavender. Okay, yeah. And then it
Okay.
gives you clary sage, and then it gives you and well, is it clary sage has lineal acetate, and then you have another proof down below right away, so you can look at this. So this one has not existed ever before in our world. We can work so detailed as aromatherapists or skincare formulators, herbalists, anything we do in the wellness world, we have immediate access within seconds now, and we can work with our data. So that's what I'm most excited about. I don't, first of all, people spend 18 minutes to search for one document. That's the average spending time. I don't need to do that anymore. I upload everything once, and I can use this tool to create magnificent work in terms of reliability and references attached to it.
I would like to point out one other thing. In this document, you'll notice there's no information about the botanical family of any of these constituents. So one of the cool things is that with this chat, it's what they call a hybrid chat. So I can say things like, for the lavender vera, um, uh, previously listed, uh, please add the um, chemical family name to the constituents. And we have to wait for a moment while it's off thinking.
Yeah, I'm just answering Sylvia back. And she had a really good question. I'm happy to answer that. Also, she was asking if I don't have enough of my own data, where do I get the data from? And of course, you can use the data you have already. But then also it would be, of course, great if you have a little bit more data available, like different sheets. Now, Floriana, I have all of my GCMS reports because I bought all of them at one point and I have them available. So I downloaded them all from their website. And you can do the same. You can go there. It's information you have available as well. Oshadi has them. So you can see wherever you find GCMS reports to add them. I would always, of course, go to a trusted source. Even better if you, of course, work with your own GCMS reports, the ones you have actually bought. But I can see that the data you want or need, Sylvia, is, for example, data in general. So you know which essential oil maybe to buy next, right? So clary sage you might not have on hand, but it could replace lavender. So for that reason, I would then look at a GCMS report on Floriana, for example.
Right. So to continue on with the hybrid idea. This information, monoterpene hydrocarbon, is not part of the GCMS document you put in, but it is based on this part is part of your GCMS document. So this is where your skill and your magic comes in. You as a aromatherapist you need to say, does this make sense? Because you know the anything you get from ChatGPT, you need to bring your knowledge and your experience to say, does this make sense? And do I need to research this further? So that's I, the reason I'm saying that is one of the fears that people have about AI is that they will become invalid, or their knowledge, their skills will be invalid. And the reason that is not the case is because you cannot data does not is no substitute for experience. So for somebody who's very familiar with lavender, for example, they can look at this and go, "Oh, well, I like the one from another company, say maybe Planet, what is it, Plant Therapy, or something like that," and they can say within a glance, like, "Oh, these values are too high, they're off, they're grown in the wrong country, this isn't the one I want," whatever it is. Your experience counts for a lot more. You're able to use your creativity to say, well, I don't have this, I want to use clary sage, but here's, you know what the consequences are. Maybe there's a phototoxic thing in there. So for you to ask all of those questions directly from ChatGPT, you might be able to end up with a good answer, but your value added is your ability to take your experience and awareness and knowledge and combine multiple other factors that would take too long to just ask question after question to get.
Yeah, I would even go so far to say that you should, as a person that maybe not knows um, your business or your niche, or not is not an aromatherapist or skincare formulator, you will never be able to judge what is right and wrong. So you have to know the trade in order to make sense of ChatGPT's answers or any kind of AI answers. Only you can be the final judge.
Yeah, I think the example, I guess a good analogy would be like going to doctors. Everybody has had the experience of going to good doctors and bad doctors, people that are negligent, people that are smart, and they all go to school, maybe even the same school, but each one brings something new, or maybe they just specialize in different aspects. Like we have one client that's into aromatherapy for horses, very specific. So that's going to require a whole different awareness, experience, and skill set. And so, yeah. So we're trying to provide you tools to get you where you're going faster, better, and with less expense. And so that's what all of this is about.
Yeah. All right. I think this was enough information for today in terms of Blend Precisely and our live. We are over half an hour already. And if you have time, jump onto the 2 o'clock one today. That's where we can discuss everything much deeper, and then also not uh, just one goes out. We can have a discussion and talk actually in our new meeting room. So I'm looking forward to some action if you're interested in joining. Other than this, we will send out the recording again with a link to it for the ones that have missed. And thanks a lot for joining. Good question, Sylvia, with the GCMS reports. But we have a lot of data, and sometimes we even got data from schools. Don't forget that either. We have gotten, probably AromaHead gave 35 different GCMS reports out, I believe. And you probably have more than you think. And then also think that it's not just for aromatherapy. And I think we just looked a lot of essential oils because this is where you need the most accurate data. But when we really want to talk about everything else, you can put anything in. So you can search your entire school paper saying, I remember there was a balm where I used some kind of beeswax and so on. So you can literally say, show me all the balms, all my balm recipes, and then you can choose which one it was. So
Yeah.
just one last thing. This one is a tool that is currently not available to everyone. So it has a one-time fee. It's currently $197 per year. And that is actually extremely cheap, to be honest, because Seth put, I believe, 12 weeks of work in it. And we talked to one of our mentors, and he said, oh, you can sell this one for like, I'm like, no, we can't, because we have a crowd that needs it. A and B does not have these funds available. So it is an extra purchase. If you're interested, definitely let us know. Send us an email, hello@blendprecisely.io. And or you can also, of course, if you're in our group, in our community on school, you will be able to have access there to the link where everything is more described. All right. Well, have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon, and maybe see you in half an hour. Talk to you soon.
Mm, Bye.
Ciao.